Before we begin the formal inaugural session of the third day of NCMAC 2025, we are thrilled to open the day with a thought-provoking panel discussion, one that dives deep into a space that is evolving rapidly and holds immense potential for our profession. The topic is opportunities for CMAs in the evolving IBC ecosphere. Since its inception, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code has not only transformed India's financial landscape, it has also created a robust demand for professionals who bring both technical expertise and ethical clarity. As business navigate restructuring, liquidation, and resolution, CMAs, with our deep insights into cost structures, valuation, risk analysis, and compliance, are uniquely positioned to serve as resolution professionals, advisors, valuers, and governance enablers. This session is more than just a discussion. It's a call to recognize new roles, emerging responsibilities, and strategic positioning for CMAs in the IBC domain. Let us now invite our expert panelists who bring first-hand experience, policy perspective, and practical insights in this vital area of professional growth. Let the conversation begin. With this, may I request CMA Bashir Mosodi sir, Chairperson of Srinagar chapter of ICMAI, to please come onto the dais. I request Shri G.S. Narasimha Prasad, Managing Director of Insolvency Professional Agency, ICMAI, to please come onto the dais. I request Dr. J.D. Sharma, Chairman, Insolvency Professional Agency, ICMAI, to please come onto the dais. I request Ms. Manisha Agarwal, Insolvency Professional. Madam, please come onto the dais. I request now the Chief General Manager of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, Shri Shivanand Sanker, to please come onto the dais. Madam, please. Yes. I request my friend from the Bhubaneswar chapter, CMA Somiranjan Jena, he is the PD Committee Chairperson, Chairman of the Bhubaneswar chapter, to please come and take your seat. This is a panel discussion, ladies and gentlemen. Before I hand over the stage to the moderator of this session, this session's moderator is Shri G.S. Narasimha Prasad, Managing Director of Insolvency Professional Agency of ICMAI. I would like to invite CMA Bashir Mosodi, Chairperson of Srinagar chapter of ICMAI, to please address the House and welcome you all.
Good morning, my friends, fellow CMAs. I think this voice you are getting is far away. It is coming all the way from Kashmir to Bhubaneswar. Is it reaching to you? Yes. So let me again say you good morning to all of you. Good morning. Thank you. Mr. G.S. Narasimha Prasad ji, Managing Director, Insolvency Professional Agency, ICMA. Dr. J.D. Sharma, Insolvency Profession Agency, ICMA. Ms. Manisha Agarwal, Insolvency Professional. Shri Shiv Anand Shankar, Chief General Manager, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. CMA Somya Ranjan Jena, Chairman, PD Committee, Bhubaneswar Chapter. My fellow CMAs here, persons from media, ladies and gentlemen, I really feel privileged to be among you this morning and welcome the dignitaries who are expert on the IBC code for deliberating on the IBC and its relevance to cost accountants and the opportunities it provides. This is really an important moment for me. I was first not sure whether I should come all the way from Kashmir to attend this meeting, but then the president once called me and just changed my mind. He said, no, you should also come. Let me tell you, I met so many people in the conference, and I found that most of the people were curious of knowing about what is happening in Kashmir and what is the situation there. Let me tell you that whatever has happened was an unfortunate, and every Kashmiri regretted. But then whatever had to happen has happened, and now things are back to normal there. But still there is an apprehension in the mind of people. The main reason is the social media. But let me tell you the first-hand information. I was there during all those happenings, including the war of few days, and I live just near airport. So aerial difference between my house and airport is hardly around 1.5 kilometers. So we have seen the drones coming and being responded and all that during those days. But then there is always a history. It has become a history now. Everything is back to normal there, except that people are still scared of visiting Kashmir. But then let me tell you that in every adversity, there is also an opportunity. I feel this is an opportunity for the people who really wanted to come and visit Kashmir, because abhi the flow of tourists is very, very less, and if you visit the Kashmir, you get the ticket easily at the cheapest price, you get the hotel easily at the cheapest price, you go the places where you want to go very easily, where it used to be very difficult because of, not because so many tourists, of course, used to visit Kashmir, but it was all because the infrastructure in Kashmir is not grown that much. That is why even if with 5,000 more tourists, it was getting choked, and it was becoming very inconvenient for everybody. So let me request you that if you really have an intention of visiting Kashmir, you should take this opportunity and visit this time, and it will be very nice. So, with these words, I invite you all to Kashmir. So, coming back to the morning session, which is opportunities for CMAs in evolving IBC Ecofair, we have got expert panelists here who will deliberate on the subject. And I personally feel that, I think it was in 2019, I had a flat in one of the, in Greater Noida. The builder left and IBC got invoked. And I had the first experience because I was the member of the committee of creditors, and how it happened, and how we appointed the IP, and what was his role. And from all that learning, I found that he was a chartered accountant. I feel that if he would have been cost accountant, he would have done the justice better. So I feel that cost accountants have much better role in IBC. So I am sure that the panelists here who are expert in this domain will deliberate, and it will be beneficial to all of you. With these words, I thank you all for patient listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Bashir sir, for your welcome address. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I take the privilege of introducing you to the speakers of this session. Amongst us, we have Shri Shiv Anand Sanker. He is an MBA and LLB from Delhi University. He has more than 20 years of experience with regulators like National Housing Bank, which is the apex regulatory body for overall regulation and licensing of housing finance companies in India, and Reserve Bank of India, which is India's central bank and regulatory body responsible for regulation of the Indian banking system. He has also served on the board of the largest regional rural bank. He has the domain knowledge and experience of working in the areas of financial inclusion, payment and settlement systems, accounts, regulation, and insolvency ecosystem. Presently, he is working as Chief General Manager with Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, headquartered in New Delhi. He joined the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board in April 2022 and is currently serving as the Chief General Manager on deputation. Sir, thank you so much for coming here. May I now request CMA Bibek Prajapati to please welcome Shri Shiv Anand Sanker, Chief General Manager of IBBI. Can we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you, Mr. Bibek. Now I have the privilege of introducing you to the next speaker. She is Ms. Manisha Agarwal. She is an insolvency professional. She is an MBA and fellow member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. Also, IBBI registered valuer of securities and financial assets and an insolvency professional. The awards that she has received: Best Lady Rotarian Award from Rotary Club of Nagpur, Vocational Excellence Award for the year 2020 and 21, Woman Innovator Award for the year 2021, Regional Recognized among Top 1,000 Women of Asia by Woman Innovator, Best Lady Entrepreneur Award in Service Industry by Vidarbha Industries Association, Nagpur. May I request Nivedita Das, CMA Nivedita Das, to welcome Ms. Manisha Agarwal, the insolvency professional. Thank you. Amongst us, we also have the chairperson of Insolvency Professional Agency of ICMAI, Dr. J.D. Sharma. Dr. Jay Dio Sharma is the chairman of Independent and Independent Director of IPA ICAI. He is an MCOM, CAIIB, DIM, MBA, LLB, and PhD. He wrote his doctoral thesis on post-globalizational motivational dimensions amongst the officers of Indian public sector banks, which has been widely acclaimed. As his postdoctoral study, he propounded a new theory of motivation known as skill gap theory of motivation, which is referred to by the researchers across the globe. He has over 39 years of experience in Indian Overseas Bank with exposure in banking and finance, stressed assets management, loan recovery, suit filed assets, international trade finance, HR, vigilance, and IR. Besides being faculty member of IOB's training system for 4.5 years, he has also been part-time director on the board of IOB from March 2006 to December 2009, and from May 2013 to May 2016. Sir, it's an honor to have you with us. May I request CMA Jyoti to please welcome Dr. J.D. Sharma, chairperson of Insolvency and Professional Agency of ICMAI. Amongst us, we also have Shri G.S. Narasimha Prasad. He is the Managing Director of Insolvency Professional Agency of ICMAI. He is a Master of Business Laws from National Law University, Bangalore, CAIIB from Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, 1992 BSc from Bangalore University. He also has diploma. As a registered valuer, insolvency professional and valuer, consultant, trainer and experienced banker and entrepreneur on the panel of registered IPs with State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, Canara Bank, Karnataka Bank and Exim Bank, apart from NCLT with extensive exposure to corporate insolvency resolution process, corporate banking at functional, regional and leadership levels. He also was instrumental in setting up and running new businesses from concept to profitable commercial operations to winding up. He also has international experience managing the back office and computer systems of full-fledged dealing room in SBI. Sir, it's an honor to have you with us. May I request the PD Committee Chairman of Bhubaneswar Chapter of ICMAI to please welcome Shri G.S. Narasimha Prasad, Managing Director of Insolvency Professional Agency, ICMAI. Thank you so much. Now I would like to hand over the stage to the moderator of this session, because this is a panel discussion. It shall be moderated by Shri G.S. Narasimha Prasad, Managing Director of Insolvency Professional Agency.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Masudi. We heard from first-hand experience of a Kashmiri to begin the day with. So with that, our solidarity with Ms. Masudi and fellow Kashmiris in Kashmir. Can you hear me? Is it okay now? Very good morning to you all, and it's a privilege to be here among you all professionals in this convention, and along with me are three very seasoned professionals and experts in this field. So it really is a privilege for me to be moderating this session. I know that without intending to, we have eaten into the time of others, probably next sessions foregoing. So what we will do is that we will not have any presentations or speeches. What we will have is a conversation through which I hope that we will give you a sense of the IBC ecosphere, the development so far, the progress so far, where it is headed, and particularly the topic of the day for us, that is opportunities for CMAs in this ecosphere. To give a background, it is IBC is a little more than 8-year-old, and the performance so far has been impressive by any standards, though there are people to see why not this, why not that kind of a thing. Just to give you a perspective, so far in the last 8 years or so since IBC became operative, there have been 8,300 cases that have been corporates that have been brought to under the IBC processes, of which nearly 1,926 to be precise as on March 31st, as per the quarterly report of IBBI, which are ongoing. About 53% of these cases were resolved, settled, or withdrawn. I'm saying all these three things because all these 53% of the cases meant the companies were rejuvenated and they're back into operation in a different hand or in a different form, and creditors have got back their money and the capital is reinvested, fresh capital has been brought in, effectively effective use of the capital and the resources that have gone into it. Obviously, 47% have gone into liquidation because it all started with a legacy, and there was and indeed, about more than 40% of the cases that came into IBC ecosphere when it started were the legacy cases, that is, the cases that were in BIFR. Now, the large numbers. The creditors have recovered 3.81 crores, 3.81 lakh crores, sorry, 3.81 trillion rupees into the recoveries from their zone, which means that, about 10% of, or rather, all put together in all forms of capital, 12% of the capital has been plowed back into the industry. 12% is quite a lot, which is, we are talking about 38,000 crores, which has been plowed back into the business by bankers and creators. And more interestingly, many of you may know, the cases I mentioned, withdrawn or settled, these cases amounted actually to almost 13.8 lakh crores which were settled. This was the amount, 13.8 trillion rupees was the amount that was stuck in these cases, which were settled even before it went through full resolution. So effectively you can say it is about nearly 17 plus lakh crores, 17 trillion rupees value of capital that has been plowed back, brought back into productive use in the economy, which I think you will agree that it is not insubstantial, it is not insignificant. So that alone shows where IBC has been going. With that, and the latest is, IBBI has also started the personal insolvency recently. So PG cases, personal guarantors of the corporate debtors, that is the bank companies which are in stress, the personal guarantors or the corporate guarantors, insolvency of that also has started. 4,200 cases have been initiated, which I'm trying to say this because this shows you the way where it is going. With those numbers, let me not drop out. There will be any number of statistics that I can roll out and take all the time. I would like to straight away, before we go to discussing the opportunities for CMS, I would like to invite Ms. Shivanand Shankar to give the perspective of the regulator. IBBI has been a very proactive regulator. He is my boss for all purposes. So we work in very close coordination. They've been very proactive. We have monthly meetings. Everything is discussed. We act as the channel to receive the first-hand impressions, the feedback from the practicing IPs to IBBI, and then there is interaction. So there is a constantly, every month, there is interaction as to how to make things better. Without going into talking about this, I'll request Mr. Shivanand Shankar to give the regulator's perspective.
Good morning, Jai Jagannath. And to begin with, I'll thank Narasimha Prasad sir that he kind of told me that we are having such a nice convention over 3 days. And really, after coming here, the arrangements are superb. So thanks to the organizers. To begin with, now coming to the topic, sir was asking what is the regulator's perspective on the role. So I will limit my perspective to the role of the IP. See, if you see the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, the preamble itself says that there are two objectives. One is value maximization and meeting of the timelines. So with these two objectives, if we have to work from the regulator to help us out, he was saying that he's my boss. We are not bosses. I would say he is my frontline regulator. And when the frontline regulator works efficiently, then only the regulator gets all the information and support to work efficiently as it is supposed to be. So we have three IPAs, insolvency professional agencies. IBC, to begin with, just giving a background, IBC was brought in 2016. We have four pillars, we say: IPs, adjudicating authorities, NESL, and NESL is the information utility, and then we have IPAs. So insolvency professional agencies are from ICSI, CSI, ICSI, ICAI, and then ICMAI, IPA. So these three IPAs are our frontline regulators. They regulate the members. So basically, more or less, the profession from which they come, they join the particular, though it's open to, they can join any of the IPA. Generally, the professionals join the IPA to which they belong, because it gives a kind of a synergy and symphony is there. So from regulators' perspective, from what is that we are looking at from the IPs. Insolvency professionals are the most key element for IBC. And in that, we are looking at our main objective is that we should get value maximization and we should get the resolutions in time-bound manner. Narasimha Prasad sir started with whatever we have, the data that we have. The data are very impressive. In fact, IBC and IBBI is a very unique kind of setup. And in that setup, even in many developed world, you will not have this kind of a codified system, and also a codified system which lays down the institutions. It lays down an institution called IBBI, it lays down an institution called NESL, which is the information utility, which keeps all the records. It lays down the system of adjudicating authorities in terms of NCLT and CLAT. So nowhere in the world, in the other parts of the world, it has grown more, I would say, organically over the years. In India, it was very well thought out. A legal background is very solid legal background in which the IPs have to work. So IPs basically have to focus on two things as to how do you, right now Dwivedi sir, before this session was starting, he was talking about health. So what is it that takes a company to IBC? It's that it's become unhealthy, or in a very some people say it's going to like going to an ICU. So you are basically, I personally compare that an insolvency professional is akin to a doctor who brings back the company from the brinks of failure, where all the capital is lost, to ease of exit out of ICU and reworking the capital into the system. So we had the freedom of entry in 1991 when we opened up the system. In 2000s, we had the perfect market competition through Competition Commission of India. And in 2016, we have a regulator, IBBI, which is ensuring freedom to exit, and that exit should be very well coordinated. And that has actually led to a jump in ease of doing business, world rankings, from to almost from 6 to 60 points. And then now World Bank has, though subsequently stopped that ease of doing business, we are now into be ready environment. So insolvency professionals do a very yeoman job. They are a very unique profession, and they lead they work in an environment which is very challenging, but they do two kinds of things. One, they do a public service, because as Narasimha Prasad sir had talked, that they bring back the help in bringing back the capital, and they kind of encourage market mechanism to work in tandem with what we are looking at, and that is a Viksit Bharat in somewhere around 2047. So from a regulator's perspective, the idea is that the IP should work with ethics. The IP should be well trained, for which we have continuous professional, for ethics we have code of conduct, and for working efficiently we have guidelines and continuous professional education knowledge. All the three IPAs help us in organizing training programs on a continuous basis. And then during the professional course of working, there is hand-holding by way of which I'm sure Manisha madam and JD sir would be talking about, as to how continuous support systems work. So from IP's part, we are looking at growing role of from regulators' part, as he said, we are looking at growing role of IPs in the entire ecosystem. In fact, recently RBI came out with a circular where they have said that the IPs would be working in securitization, some part in a very particular role in the securitization of assets. So the role is growing, the demand is growing, and then our expectations from them is, which I outlined just now. I won't take more time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shivji. So that was from the regulator. There is another interesting number that I would like to throw to you. You would have read in the papers all along that what has been the recovery for bankers. It is just about 32%, 33%, and sometimes as low as 5%. What's the point? Those are the headlines that you get. If you don't go into the details, it gives you a very, very depressing impression about the whole thing. What is so much of a drama? I will give you the other perspective. After all, we have the IBC ecosystem is dealing with stressed assets, companies which are not doing well, which have got into stress, and hence that's why they have come here. You look at the other perspective is that the recovery for the creditors on the basis of their liquidation value, had they not gone through resolution, had they just been liquidated, sold off as a distressed assets, the recovery actually to the bankers has been 187%. That is a better perspective to see. And another one is, I think there are many valuers here. I'm sure they will appreciate this. So, as a share of the fair value of the assets that have gone through resolution, it is 86% plus. 86% plus, which shows the efficacy of the system. That shows the efficacy of the system. That is a better. Hello.
I'll add here the recovery that we compare, it is against the claims. So the claims is everything. So that's what claims is, like principal plus interest plus penalty plus corporate guarantees plus other guarantees. Almost everything under the sun that is there. So if you compare 32% with under the sun and then 87% with the fair value of the valuers. So that is the difference.
Very true. I have been a banker too, so I know what all goes into the claims. Yes, that's true. Now let me come to my other boss, Sharma ji. He is the chairman of our IPA. Apart from being a veteran banker, he also has had, as an independent director and chairman of IPA, a ringside view of the IBC ecosystem. Ringside view with a very close look into the operations of IPs. So I request him, my question to you, sir, is looking at it with your extensive exposure to this IBC ecosystem as the IPA chairman, and earlier with your extensive experience as a banker, I bring in the point about CMAs. You also have been closely associated with the institute. So how do you see the participation of CMAs in the IBC ecosystem? I start with a presumption, which is not a presumption, matter of fact, is that among the IPs, only 4.6% of the IPs are CMAs. The rest are all not exactly non-CMAs, not practicing CMAs, let me put it that way. Apart from 55% of CAs and bankers and lawyers and all that. My own presumption, I'll put this as a presumption that CMAs with their background, their education, their competence and extensive industry exposure that almost every CMA gets. CMA is about the best qualified or competent to handle resolution. With my presumption, that is my statement, sir. So I would like you to respond to that. Thank you.
Good morning, my dear and respected professionals, mainly the CMAs, and there are other professionals too. Let me start with my association with Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India, it started in 2012 when I started writing articles in the journal, monthly journal of Institute. Thereafter, coming to IBC, I was associated with IBC, thanks to again Institute, even before IBC code came into being. When the code was presented in Parliament, it was referred to the Joint Parliamentary Committee. And Joint Parliamentary Committee invited various bodies and experts seeking suggestions as to how the code can be made comprehensive and meaningful. That time, CMA Bhattar sir, he was president of the Institute, and Institute also got a call from Parliamentary Committee that you come with your team for giving the suggestions on code. So he thought that I also can be part of that team which is going to give a presentation before Parliamentary Committee. So CMA B.B. Goyal sir, who is a stalwart in the profession, he was in government service then. He was additional chief advisor cost in the government. I was in Indian Overseas Bank and Bhattar sir was the president. Three of us went to give a presentation before Joint Parliamentary Committee. And we gave many suggestions. One of the suggestions which I gave was, in original draft of the code, the cases for resolution were to be tried before DRT, Debt Recovery Tribunals. I said that DRT was set up with an intention that resolution will take place in 180 days. But when we went for this code discussion, that time the resolution time taken by DRT was 4.7 years. 4.7 years. So I was of the view, I presented to Parliamentary Committee, that when you are planning that 180 days, another 90 days, 270 days resolution, CIRP, and you give these cases to DRT, which is already laden with this kind of voluminous work, that they are taking already 4.7 years for resolving a case. So how you expect these timelines to be met by DRT? So I suggested there should be a separate setup for handling the cases under IBC when it comes to resolution part. So this is why we are not before DRT largely for the corporate debts resolution, we are before NCLT. So this is one of the suggestions which they accepted, and I gave this suggestion. So my association with IBC dates back to October 2016 when IBC really was passed by Parliament and came into being. Second, which is really a matter of pride for all of you, the cost accountants, cost and management accountants, that when government decided to implement it, they first set up the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. And to provide office space to IBBI, the government felt that Institute of Cost and Management Accountants office in Lodi Road should be made available by the Institute. And Institute was really proud to get that kind of opportunity. And Institute gave the foundation for setting up and functioning of IBBI from its office in Lodi Road. So I feel that it's a matter of great pride for all CMAs that they were instrumental in assisting IBBI to start its functioning. Later on, they moved to another premises where they are functioning now in Connaught Place. So that was the second important aspect for CMAs, to have association with IBC ecosystem. Third one, what Mr. Narasimha Prasad was mentioning, that the number of CMAs which are into IBC ecosystem is very less. Now this is really mind-boggling Why? When we had close association with the ecosystem right from beginning, before even they started functioning, why we should not be part of that journey in a big way? Friends, IBC is doing such a noble job for the banking industry, for trade and economy, by resolving the stress assets of corporates, individuals, or partnerships. So when we become part of such journey, such noble journey, I think it will give us a lot of satisfaction as professionals, lot of satisfaction as part of ecosystem of IBC. So my request to you will be that don't think from a narrow angle that your association with IBC can be only as resolution professionals, insolvency resolution professionals. That's one very strong pillar. But apart from resolution professionals, the IBC ecosystem offers a lot of opportunities for CMA community. The opportunities are too many. It is in different segments of IBC. Ms. Manisha will be elaborately handling on that, but I'll just touch upon, you can do a great job by doing the restructuring of the costing process of the corporate which has got stress assets and which is facing the proceedings before NCLT. You can optimize the costs because the objective of IBC is the going concern. The effort should be the business is not liquidated, it's not wound up. We ensure that the business continues, and business will continue only when the stress assets can be converted into productive assets. It starts turning around, it starts making profit, then only it will continue as a going concern. Now, apart from the costing aspect, there are opportunities for CMAs into valuation. Dr. Gupta ji is here, he is head of valuation body, and he is internationally representing the India also on valuers bodies. So he can be of a great utility to CMAs to ensure that you get into the business of valuation too. Then there are a lot of secretarial compliances, legal compliances, and IBBI has got many compliances to be done. You can be associated with those compliances of insolvency professionals or insolvency professional entities. There are firms and companies which are into this business of insolvency resolution. Then you can go into forensic audit. When stress assets comes before NCLT and resolution professional takes charge, the accounts also have to be scrutinized whether there have been any diversions within the family or to the related parties. So you can specialize into forensic audit, avoidance transactions. There are many opportunities. And then some people are reluctant to join the profession of insolvency resolution professionals for the reason that there is an upper age limit. After 70 years of age, the person doesn't get assignments. But that doesn't render a person jobless. As I was telling, there are many aspects of IBC ecosystem where the jobs can continue, the livelihood can continue. So these are few things I thought I will just share with you so that you can look for opportunities according to your interest, your specialization into different fields of IBC ecosystem. Friends, as a banker, let me also share some of my thoughts on it, that IBC's main objective is not the recovery of NPAs, but it's a very important byproduct as far as the lenders are concerned. And banking is considered as lifeline of trade and industry. And banking has played a very important role right from nationalization of big banks. And then when economic policies were liberalized in 91, the banking also transformed its model of business. And then in 2016, when IBC has come, it has proved to be a game changer. Game changer in the sense, the ease of doing business ranking for India out of 190 countries was 142 in 2017-18. And in 2 years' time, after implementation of IBC 2016, the ranking has improved to 62 out of 190. And after 20, World Bank has not published the rankings, but I am sure that now our ranking in ease of doing business will be really good. So I will request you all CMAs to give a serious thought to joining the IBC ecosystem as a professional. Try to contribute your might for growth of trade and industry. And ultimately the aim of the government is, as CGM was telling, by 2047 we should be a Viksit Bharat. Even yesterday in meeting of chief ministers, Prime Minister said that if every state of the country is Viksit, the India overall will be Viksit. So let us work towards that. Let us try to achieve that even before 2047. Thank you very much for giving a patient here.
I will pass on. Okay. So let me come to straight away to Manisha ji, an active CMA IP. She has handled several cases, completed several assignments. She is having ongoing assignments. She is an active IP CMA. She is based out of Nagpur. I think many of you know her better than I do. So my question to her, I'll come to the main topic here, that is opportunities for CMAs. But I request her to talk about how it has been for her as an IP CMA, how she feels confident, how she feels better equipped as a CMA coming into this profession, and to go forward, why do you think, or how do you think this 4.5% can be taken up to at least 10% in the next 2 years or 3 years?
Good morning, everybody. Well, sir has asked me to tell you about how I feel confident being a CMA and into practice as a IP. To tell you the truth, we are CMAs, and right from the beginning, we are confidently doing cost structures. We are good in cost structures. We are good in financial analysis, then operation structure. And once you are handling an case, CIRP case, and if it is a going concern, so don't you think we are already working with the MSMEs? And you all are cost accountants, and you know that whenever we start any assignment of the cost audit or costing, we understand the working of the company. We understand the structure of the factory. So that is a very basic level. So once we are appointed as an IP and we are carrying the CIRP case, we already know the process of the industry. Sorry, no offense to the CAs and CS, but I think we are well equipped with the working of the factories and with the system of MSMEs. And we are more attached to the MSMEs, if we can say that. So I think we as CMAs are better insolvency professionals. I can say that, sir. And sir, I would really like to tell you, आपने एक story बताई कि IPs are like doctors, and when I was taking my training, I was told the story that एक बड़ी सी नाव है जो डूब रही है और एक छोटी सी नाव में 4 जने आ रहे हैं. कौन कौन? एक रेगुलेटर आ रहा है, एक एडजुडिकेटिंग अथॉरिटी आ रही है, एक आईपी प्रोफेशनल आ रहा है, एंड एक इंफॉर्मेशन यूटिलिटी जो उस बड़ी सी नाव को बचाने आ रहे हैं. एंड दैट इज द रियली केस, राइट सर? So that was a story which we were told in our training. Sorry. Yeah. And sir, regarding the cases, see, I would like to tell you that if at all you are not an insolvency, you have not cleared your exam, then also you can become a part of the insolvency ecosphere. How? The day we get the CRP case, we advertise it, like we give a public announcement, and the claims start coming to us. We have to verify those claims. Those claims has to be verified. And obviously, the insolvency professional cannot do all the work. So we take the help of the professionals. And for this work, we cannot even rely on a mere graduate. We need to have a professional with us because professionals understand the time-bound program also and the importance of those verification. So there we need the help of the professionals. Then secondly, when the prospective resolution applicants are making their resolution plan, they need a help. And who can be the better than CMAs? Because they can make a better resolution plan because they understand the cost structures, they understand the financial analysis as well. So there we need professionals. Then you can become an advisor to the COC, that is Committee of Creditors, because Committee of Creditors, the bankers are sitting, so no offense, bankers, but they also don't understand everything. They also need a professional to help them, to make them understand the implications. So everywhere professionals are required, so get in touch with the IPEs, with the valuers, with the COC, and obviously you will be a part of the ecosphere. And then while doing all these things, you will be a part of IBC, and please do clear your exam. It is very disheartening that we are only 4.5% CMAs are IPs, whereas CAs are 55%. 55% CAs are IPs. हम अपने आप को compare करते हैं CA से for everything. Why aren't we comparing here? हम क्यों नहीं clear कर रहे? हम क्यों नहीं कर रहे? We are all professionals. हम सब ने एक सा पढ़ा है and we can clear. जब मैं कर सकती हूँ, anybody can clear. I can say that insolvency का exam, it is not that difficult. You just have to give 1 month for that. That 1 month you can study and you can clear the exam. That is easy, and we can be a better insolvency professionals. Yes, sir. So any other question?
For the students, do you have anything to say? I'm sure they are.
Yeah, for the students, I would say, ki please get attached to IPEs. There are so many IPEs and they need professionals or semi-professionals to work with them. And once you'll be a part of IPEs, you'll understand the IBC ecosphere and you can prepare for your exam also. You'll become a part and everything will be easy for you when you take on the exam. So please do become the part of that, and it is a very adventurous, you can say, field. It is a very adventurous field. Every day you come across so many different things. कभी डर भी लगता है being a lady, but that's okay. And sir, आपने कहा कि it is a public service, but इस public service के लिए we are highly paid. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Manisha ji. I think that was the right call to the CMAs and the CMA students here. I can see that we are eating it to the other session, so let's not take it too long. We can go on talking about it. Let me just drop one point about IPA. The members of IPA ICMAI, who are about half or more of them as our members are CMAs. The CPE hours gained by our members, IPA of ICMAI, is well above the national average of all IPs. It is well above the requirement that is there. Like CMAs have, IPs also have, which is about average 20 hours per annum. For IPs members of IPA, ICMAI, it is 36 hours average. So you see, that gives you a sense of where this one lies. And so welcome. We would like to work with all the chapters of ICMAI to hold awareness programs, hold training programs, interact. I will end it here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Sharma ji.
Friends, recently we as IPA conducted a residential program in Kerala. The name of the program was Deep Dive into IBC Ecosphere. So I just want to tell you one old Hindi saying, Jin dhoonda tin paiyan gehre pani pet. So this IBC ecosystem is like this. From outside, people may not be knowing what it is. But if you have to really make a deep dive into it, you will really get the pulse. So try to join the ecosystem. You will really feel you have done a great thing and it's good for you as professional. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Now I request our PD committee chairman of Bhubaneswar chapter, CMA Soumyaranjan Jena, to please give his formal vote of thanks of the pre-inaugural session.
Good morning all. Respected dignitaries, CMA Basari Masudi sir, Sri GS Narsimha Prasad sir, Dr. JD Sharma sir, Miss Manisha Agrawal madam, Sri Shiva Anant Shankar sir, and of the dais, senior members of the chapters, and my dear students. I, CMA Soumyaranjan Jena, Chairman of PD Committee of the Bhubaneswar chapter, on behalf of Institute of Cost Accountants of India, would like to convey my heartfelt thanks and deep gratitude to all the dignitaries who have given their valuable inputs and all the members who present here for the session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Soumya. This is the end of the pre-inaugural session, ladies and gentlemen. We shall have the inaugural session of the third day.